Hi there, this is Rainey from RAINEDROPS.com. How would you like a spiritual reading? How would you like an Akashic record reading? An Akashic healing? What about past life regression? All of this and more are available for you at RAINEDROPS.com. Don't forget the E in the middle. It says my name, Rainey. I thought it would be nice to read a chapter from each of my books that you can see on the website. And this is taken from my first book. It's called And Raindrops Fall Down My Cheeks, Book 1. It's called Sad Farewell. And I know all you pet owners out there will relate to this story very much. A beautiful white kitten was with us for 12 wonderful years. Because of her genetic disorder, our veterinarian told us she would not grow in stature or emotionally. She would remain a kitten. So we had a kitten for 12 years, everybody's dream. And we did love her so. As she grew older, we had her tested for bowel problems, as she always seemed in pain when we picked her up. And we were told she would develop bowel cancer. So we loved this little one with all our might whilst we had her on loan from heaven. In time, I knew it was close to making a compassionate call. But oh, how do you do this when you have so much love for a wee one? And she was the world to my daughter. After all, it was her cat. I asked Alor, my guardian angel, for guidance many times, but I didn't seem to receive an answer. Eventually, I knew it was really important that a decision be made, and I prayed earnestly that I might be given some guidance. Something happened that night that will always be with me. I was wide awake. It was late at night, and I lay in darkness, just thinking about the day's events. As I gazed towards the ceiling, I became aware of a misty white cloud forming before my very eyes. The cloud, and I call it a cloud because it looked just like one, would have been about the size of my bedside cabinet, just to give you an idea of how big it was. Suddenly, in the center of this cloud, the mist began to spin very, very fast, like a vortex, and an opening appeared behind the cloud, which appeared as blue sky. Clear blue sky. And in the middle of the opening was the upper part of our dear kitten. If she was sitting, you can imagine you would see her from the chest upwards. I stared in amazement at this apparition, and then her little paw came through the hole in the cloud and waved at me. I nodded and understood. She was saying goodbye. And tomorrow I had to break the news to my daughter and we would put our little darling to sleep. With that understanding, the opening began to twirl again, like a vortex, until the kitten was obscured and only the cloud remained. And then it just disappeared. My heart was broken. How would I be able to tell my daughter? I had prearranged to pick up my daughter from her home. She had just moved into an apartment and we were going furniture shopping for her new home. I kept very quiet as we went about our preparations. And then I took her to a cafe where I broke the news to her. She sobbed deeply as I told her and cried, "Why? Why does it have to be today?" Today was her 21st birthday. I was so proud of my daughter as she nodded her head. She loved her kitten enough to let her go on this, her most special birthday. With sad hearts, we drove to the clinic where my daughter bravely cuddled and held her kitten close to her as the needle was inserted, and our little darling pet quietly drifted off to sleep. Her little body was wrapped in a shawl, her favorite, and we carried her home like a baby. It just broke my heart to walk away, leaving my daughter standing alone in her living room, breaking her heart and rocking her kitten. I need time alone with her, Mum. I need this night with her. The next day, we buried her in one of her favorite potties in the rose garden, with all her special toys around her. My family all said their farewells. We blessed our little one and covered her over with dirt. Every birthday my daughter now has is a double-sided sword. It brings her joy and happiness, and it brings her deep grief. My daughter has been through some very traumatic experiences in her life, and her little kitten was her comfort. She would curl up on the floor, and the kitten would lie down next to her, curling in close, bringing her comfort. Now, when my daughter experiences heartaches, she sits with me, and I see her little kitten coming in to sit with her from the other side, still comforting her mother, and raindrops fall down my cheek. We still love our little one and always will. She'll forever be a part of our family, a part of our lives, always in our hearts. Until next time, bye.